For most of my life, and I'm 67 now, for most of my life, things were getting better. It wasn't even, but there was a better trend. People were becoming more tolerant of people who were different colour or different sexuality. The role of women was being respected more. Democracy was spreading slowly but effectively throughout the world. The Iron Curtain came down. All those sorts of we used to deal on Kyoto to deal with CFCs and all these kind of things. We ended up making Montreal, that was CFCs, and we started doing some stuff to tackle climate change, and it was getting better. Gorbachev, for example, was a breath of fresh air, and how wonderful it was to see a Russian leader, or Soviet leader, the chances that he took. He got no thanks for it, by the way, but I admire him for that. I met him once, and so the world was getting a better place until about 2008, maybe 2003 with the Iraq War, until the beginning of the century anyway, and the crash didn't help in 2008. But it's been going backwards or downhill, depending on your metaphor, since then. I think it's really accelerated downhill in the last 10 years. And you look round at the world's leaders, and you look at Biden being a bit hopeless, and Trump being, narcissistic, and the worst possible leader you can imagine, in my view, for the greatest country in the world in terms of power. You look at Putin, ex-KGB, who had replaced Yeltsin and replaced Gorbachev. You look at Xi Jinping, who's unwound some of the steps that were taken by Deng Xiaoping to try and make things a bit better and more open in China. That's all gone backwards. You look at the German government falling to bits. And then you look at people who maybe mean well but aren't very effective. Keir Starmer, I'm not going against Keir Starmer, but if he'd been there 30 years ago, he'd be okay. But he's out of his depth in the world we're in today. You look at someone like Trudeau in Canada, or Macron. These people are okay, but they're not having any influence, and they don't stand out as leaders. Where's a generation of leaders you can look up to who can take us forward in this hugely difficult and negative world? I don't see them anywhere. I see either evil people, or I see people who are well-meaning but ineffective, and that's what we got in the world today.